Thank you so much for coming through to Lone Voices.
Thank you, Nyara.
Right, saka totangira pokutanga.
Yes.
Pazvinotangira.
Yes.
Chii chakaita kuti mupinde muHarare Central Prison? Chakusvitsai pamuri.
Okay. I'm in for rep. And apapa ndoda kutaura ndisingatye vanhu but nditya Mwari.
Mungu.
Long back ndaifunga kuti it's zvinotaura nevanhu kuti vangoenda kujere asina mhosva kunyepa. But I'm one of the innocent people vari mujere. What happened? Pane musikana ndaidana naye. Handitya. Then in 2009 she relocated ndobva tanga nogara kukwadzana.
Achibva kupi?
KuHeathcliff.
All right.
Saka arelocata inini madhesi achinayo ndopanda kunda artistwa kupolice. Handitya.
Okay.
Hatina kuzomboonana. Ndisina kuonana nemusikana uyu inini ndakazorora. That's what transpired. Ndarora inini ndaenda kuchurch all this time. Handitya.
Ipi?
Ndoenda kuZayoja.
All right.
Saka ndichienda kuZayoja madays ayaya ndandakupota ndichienda kuchechi but ndichimwa doro ndakumwa doro. This is what has been happening. Saka on the 21st of August 2012 apa pamai ndandatu achidhakwa full time.
All right.
But
full time job.
Full time chidhakwa but kuchechi tisingazikani.
All right.
Kuchechi ndoenda handidhakwiri kandi ndikauya because madays ayo ndanda kusenzera kuKenzamba. Kana ndiri ukoko ndiri full time chidhakwa ndikauya kuno kundoenda kuchechi.
Okay.
Saka you see that I was leading a life of double standards. Saka ndauya uri musi wa 21 ndauya kubhora reDynamo Snake Caps because I'm a staunch Dimbari fan.
Okay, you're one of the 7 million Dimbari fans.
Exactly.
Okay.
So tiri papa ndaitorwadziwa mazuva apera. But it's fine. Saka ndauya for the match. Ndakabva ndasvika kumba atwa Manheru. You see. Saka semunanga akati dhakweni vanati no, I have to see my friend. Saka ndichidaona shamwari yangu ndobva ndapfuura nepamba pe that girl wanembodana naye. But remember this time I was a married man now. Ndapfuura ndichisvika pamba paipa ndikuona pane party wa birthday party remwana. Pakazara vanhu. Saka ndakasvika ndobva ndamira kumasure so. Ndobva ndaona the lady uyo aripo.
Okay.
Saka aripo ndakabva ndadedza munin'ina wacho. You see. Ndanodedza akabva tonodedza sisi wacho. Ndobva touya tikatomira kumasure with a plate of cake. Tichitotaura nyaya. Ndobva ndamuti anondoda kuenda kunoona shamwari yangu anonzi Jabu. Ndokwandinoda kuenda saka ndiperekedze. You see. Tikanzi Lawrence ndinofanira kudzokera nevana ava kumba kweimwe sister yangu. Saka party inogona kupera. Ndikati no, todzoka mai manje. Unaona? Ndobva ndapesera ndamuconvinza. Pesera ndobva taenda kweshamwari yangu. Shamwari yangu anotoziva kuti munhu ndodana naye kudhara.
Ndodana naye kandaidana.
Ndaidana, okay, this is language yakuchinja. Munhu ndodana naye. Ndaidana naye because pane time yalapsa munhu ndisamuona. But ndikuona apa munhu ndotomunyepera. Ndochokwadi chiripo asi kuziva kuti I'm a married man now. Tasvika kweshamwari yangu akabva tosvika ndobva ndipa room.
Mukadzi uyu, was she single or was she married?
Very single. She was 23 and single and I was 29 by then.
Okay.
Saka ndapiwa room neshamwari yangu. I will spend almost an hour plus. Tiri murume yami. Manheru kadzaza takumati around 10.
Okay.
Takubuda pamba paipa. Taudzokera kumba kune party. Tikuwana zvinhu zvese off. Hapasina party yapera. Ndiyake birthday remwana. Dzatauma around past 11.
Mwana ngari wani wemusikana wakanti mwana wepamba. Okay.
Wacho.
Okay.
Hapasina party. Musikana ndobva tanga kuti Lawrence ndakutya kuenda kumba. Because anogara kumba kwasisa china kuzasi. Ndoti kunokwana mumzo inongaitwa party. Ndibva ndatanga kumusofta kuti aende kumba kwawo. Unaona? Saka ndatanga kutaura with this lady kuti naye kuti aende kumba kwawo. Because hatitoendende naye zveshuwa.
Okay, hold on.
Yes.
Pamakapuwa room kumba kweshamwari yenyu.
Yes.
Kune zvakaitika?
Stereki.
Okay. Shamwari yanga isiri married.
Shamwari atori married. Ari mu next room nemukadzi wake.
Mukadzi wake anotoziva kuti muri married.
Antondiziva enda ichizo ndiri married.
But mangouyawo neumwe munhu, new face.
Exactly.
And it was okay.
She never commented.
Okay.
Exactly.
Right.
Saka padaro now. Taita almost 10-15 minutes. Ndakutya kuenda kumba in the stuff. Ndichapedzera ndangotaura naye kusvika aenda.
Kuenda kumba uku yanga iri nyaya kuti kwasviba kana kuti nyaya kuti ari kutya ku.
Anga achifanirwa kuenda nevana vanga vari kupati.
Asi vana vamusiya.
Vana vamusiya pati yapera asizikana kuti aripi. Ende patoita time yakareba asipo.
All right.
Saka padaro ndichabva ndamuperedza kusvika pageti ndobva kuti no unotopinda neni. Ndipinde naye manje ndiri kuita. ndo ndamsiya ndobva apinda pamba pawo ini ndobva ndaenda kumba. Ndichosvika kumba handinamborara almost about 20 minutes ndichibva ndanzwa noku yainonokwa pamba pangu yanokwa panext door manheru kakwati zipa ndakainzwa. Saka the thing was like vanhu ini vainditi pastor. See, ndobva todawo kuona pastor zvikanzi anogara panext door apa. Remember I'm now married. Saka vangotosvika vachinoka padoor ini ndakabva ndatobuda ndichida kuvaonera panze
because you knew kuti pane zvamboitika.
That's very true. And ndaitoziva kuti munhu uya ndanetsa naye pakudzikira mumba kwavo. Saka pandakabuda ndabva ndaona aina sisi vacho. Then the sister said, Lawrence, tauya kuzokupa mukadzi wako because haungarare nemwana.
Sister yeziva kuti wakamboda nemusikana wayo.
Sister ikai
Alright.
Zvikanzi tauya kuzokupa mukadzi wako because haungarare nemwana. Saka uyo ari mumba pakanzi when she had this, then she came out of the house. Zvikanzi no, handikasiya munin'ina wangu pane umwe mukadzi, nyaya yatochinja. Gona. Saka pavakadaro vakabva vatobva pamba indobva ndapinda mbano ndatanga kutonetsana mumba nauyu
nemudzimai wenyu.
Exactly. Saka padaro nawo ndobva pazoya the other lady anonzi mai Edgar angauya nevanhu ava. Zvikanzi ayo Lawrence, vanhu vatoti saka iwe haungarari nemwana wavo une mukadzi, saka vakutoenda kupolisi kuti waripa mwana. Saka ini vandangoti since ndisina kuripa munhu handizvina basa. Then they went. After about 30 minutes, then the police officers came. Saka vauya vakanditora ndobva taenda pa base, pa police base. When I got there, I just told them the version of my story. And I know go home.
You said the version of your story or not?
It is whatever happened.
Okay.
Exactly. Then they just say, no, go home, then you come back tomorrow. Ndiva ndaenda kumba. Tauya mangwana makuseni were taken to Bordeaux police station because this was a base. Tasvika pa Bordeaux police station, takaenda ku victim friendly. Then vanhu victim friendly ndobva vati ano chimbotaurira naye because vangaona kuti nyaya yachona ine kakudanana mukati nechi, ndobva vati no, taurira naye. Honestly speaking, vanhu avaida kuextota mari kwandiri. Ndobva vanditi no, Lawrence, iwewe you cannot do such a thing. Kana uchida kuti tisapress these charges. Andika give us $3,000. Saka noziva kuti honestly speaking ipapo that didn't go well with me. Handiti because ndaifunga kuti nezvisi zvanga zvaitika this case will be proved and my innocence will come out kuti muzveshuwa munhu ndinamurepa and we've been doing everything tichiwirirana with consent and agreement. Saka padaro chatadza kunzwanana. Victim friendly ndo pachazonodza the officer in charge. Saka panza ano pane a case involving purisa yakadai. Then nyaya ndobva yatoiswa mararabhira twadhoketi ndobva ndavharirwa. Saka ndavharirwa, we then went to court. Taenda ku court, honestly speaking I cannot blame the justice system. What transpired on the ground is not what was said in the court.
Talking about what transpired, let's go back to the room.
Yes.
Because this is where it all began.
That's very true.
What happened in the room?
Right.
Did you guys agree to whatever then happened? Was there coercion or was there force that was used?
No force was ever used. We agreed akatondibvisa shirt ndichitomupinira blouses. You see, saka hapana anything chakamboitwa using force. Problem yakazongotangira paya pakuenda mbakwawo pati yapera. Had it not been that takaona pati yapera, maybe pangadi pasina a case yakaita seyo.
But when you were still dating before you got married, had you guys been intimate before this particular point in time? Or this was the first time?
This was the second time. We once did it before.
When you were still dating?
Exactly.
Okay, and so this then became the second time?
Exactly.
All right.
Right. Saka ndaenda ku court. These people then they started to change everything. Andika ishi yanga isiri kuti ndakamwana kupati, yanga ishi yekuti ndakamutora ndikaenda naye kumba kweshamwari yangu. Exactly. Ipapo pakabuda. Then I raped you once. Saka from there inini ndakabva ndatongwa 15 years. Less 5.
No, but hold on. So kumba kweshamwari yangu, yeah, your friend was there. The wife
they testified in court.
Didn't they testify? Because when rape happens, someone has to scream, or
sure.
Not has to, but some they don't scream,
exactly.
Depending on how it goes on.
She was asked in the court, say us now screamer. Then she said, ndakamisa rurimi mukana akatadza kuchema. Something like that.
And so like you
exactly.
stuck your tongue in her mouth,
In her
so
mouth,
that she couldn't cry.
couldn't cry. That's what she said.
Was it a kiss?
It never happened that way.
Oh. Okay.
Because when the act was being done, nothing ever happened, Chakadaro. But this is what they said in the court. Exactly. Saka, and the Padaro, honestly speaking, the court, from my personal analysis, the court was just very hostile Kwandiri as a policeman. Because Papa in issue kuti even pa judgment the magistrate, he even said your defense was well planned, but of which I never planned anything. I said the truth of what happened. Then the magistrate said your defense was well planned. You see, Saka, definitely the court was just hostile Kwandiri. Saka Ndadaro, I was sentenced to 15 years in prison, less 5 on condition of good behavior. Again, and then 10 years. Saka kwa only 10 years kujere, they remove a 3rd year remission. Yekuti ukasita mskanzo wanapota chidzorera dzorera dzorera. Saka, which means to say I'm supposed to be in prison for 6 years, 8 months. And now I'm left with 10 months.
Were you a first-time offender?
It's obvious. No,
it's not obvious.
It's obvious.
No, maybe.
Because once you come to the court and win a conviction, you'll never be attested into the force.
No, I'm saying maybe after you had done like your training and everything, you could have. But didn't you take advantage of the fact that you were in the police force?
I never took advantage. And it's only I never took advantage. I'm just a soft person in Anditodaro.
You're a soft person.
Very soft.
Shouldn't you leave that to other people to testify or to attest
it's
to
not
that?
like I'm sounding my own horn, but definitely I know I'm not somebody who is rough as far as women are concerned.
Did you have representation in court?
I never sought one because I just thought this issue was something that was clear and straightforward. Definitely, even when I came for judgment, I thought I was going to be acquitted because there were a lot of discrepancies mu case estate. So when I even came for judgment, I thought I was going to be acquitted.
But once you were convicted,
yes,
and saying that you're innocent, as you're saying, didn't you try to appeal and then sought representation?
Right. I did that, and my appeal was turned down. Even if you look at the grounds of the dismissal of my appeal, you could see that I was just meant to be in prison. And I don't regret that. Because honestly speaking, had it not been that I came to prison, there was no I was going to be a good person. I think
so you acknowledge that you were not a good person?
In some other curriculums, that's very true. I was not a good person. So I say this is God's case, and it has been well that I came to prison. Because now I'm seeing things with new eyes. Saka ipapo that's why I'm saying kuti I'm not regretting kuya kujere. Saka kuramba kuya appeal yangu Kwandiri something that chinotori positive. Had it been kuti appeal yangu yakaita those days I was beaten ndikunye perinyari. I should maybe have done something chekuti ndaigona kutozodzoka ndakatongerwa rufu kujere.
Okay.
Because honestly when I came to prison she said I didn't commit this crime. I was bitter. And then I was thinking murderous thoughts. So ndaitofunga zvinhu zvekuti dzimwe nguva ndaigona kupesera kandauraya family yes. Saka I think it worked for good kuti appeal yangu isaweke such that I will heal with time. And for now I've totally forgiven them. So
okay. What has helped your healing process?
Right. In prison kune the chaplain's office andika kune the rehab office kune the prison workshops. Saka inini ku prison I worked closely with the chaplains as well as the rehabilitation office. Saka rehabilitation office they are well trained counselors. Andika and when I went there and nditaura nyaya yangu kwavari vanhu rehabilitation they had time then I can pinpoint. I think now he's a CCO, a chief correctional officer, but by that time he was a principal correctional officer anonzi Chef Nyon. He had a lot of time talking to me. So ndakatovaudza kuti chef inini appeal yangu ikaita ndatofunga unouraya vanhu. And that was what was in my mind.
So you were ready to go to prison again?
Ndakatoona kuti zvakanga vanditira zvandaifunga those days. Zveshuwa brains angu papo dzanga dzatodhanganyika. You know kuti when you encounter problems, you can either get better or bitter. Saka ipapo I couldn't receive it with both hands. I became bitter. So ndaitofunga kutotora mahora ndoisa mahora imba yavo. That was what was in my
Then you
mind.
blow the whole house.
Exactly. And hapana ifaka zvo akandibata with the way I'd planned it. Saka when I spoke to the rehab officers, honestly speaking, I changed. Then I can pinpoint also Chief Correctional Officer Maka. He's a reverend there in the organization. He had also the time to talk to me. You see, the spiritual element kankarimo mandiri. But when I was outside, I was just somebody who used to go to church. But ndisina kupona zvangu.
What do you think church didn't do to you when you were out that it has done now to make you change?
Okay. What matters is not about church, but it's about change inside, having Jesus inside. So you can see the whole church having a 10,000 people, 15,000 people who are not saved. That will never help. What helps is the internal change that happens inside a person. So that was what was lacking when I was outside. Because when I was outside, I was just a church goer, going with other people, being given, these positions in church, singing praise and worship, preaching and all those stuff, but being empty inside. So that will never help a person. So when I got there, in prison, you have nothing but time. So I had time to reflect, reminisce, think forward, you see. So I considered a lot of things that happened in my life of late. Ndamjere manje. Because mjere, you see, by 3:30 ndenda kuvarwa kurara 4 bells. 4 o'clock ndakurara. Suka mangwana makuseni na 7. So I have nothing other than thinking about my life.
And reflected. So just from this conversation,
Yes.
you held 2 positions in society that are held up highly. Firstly, people would refer to you as a pastor. You would
Yes.
preach in church.
Yes.
You would sing in the praise and worship.
Yes.
You were also a police officer.
Yes.
Law enforcement and also upholding the law.
Yes.
But still, you went on to not even getting to the point that you were accused of rape, but you went on to have an extramarital affair.
That's why I was saying, I was just somebody who was living a double standard life. You see, people could see me as somebody who is worth to be respected in the society, of which personally I knew. That's why I said I was a bad person. I was a bad apple. You see, but apple rachina rakaorera mukati. Saka kuriona kunze manje, the apple is good. That's who I were.
Okay, let's talk about your family.
Yes.
Does your wife still come to see you, if she ever did? Or did she support you through the whole process?
I understand
Are you still together?
I understand she's married.
Okay.
Exactly.
And how does that make you feel?
Honestly speaking, what I just know is when things are not meant to be yours, they'll just slip off your hands. No matter how hard you try to hold on, they
But
just slip off.
Can you say you tried to hold on to your marriage?
On this one now, the blame is on me. Yes, like I told you, I was a foolish man, and I'll never blame you for that. So whatever transpired, it's just water under the bridge. What I know is, like what I've been taught by my rehabilitation and chaplains, that there is life after prison. So definitely what I know is there is life after prison. So now, whatever happened, those people, so I know it's something that happens, and it's water under the bridge. When I walk out of prison, that's next year, around 10 months to come. When I walk out of prison, I'm going to start everything afresh, being a new person who please not only my society or community, but even God in heaven.
You're going to start in 10 months, you haven't started.
No, I've been doing all these things in this society as an inmate. But I'm saying now, when I come on a free world in about 10 months' time, you see, I'm going to start on a very clean sheet of paper with no dots, and I will never want to spoil it.
Okay, do you have any kids?
Yes, I have them.
Have they been able to come through to see you?
Yes.
Okay, who would come with them?
My relatives.
Okay, all right. And so, meaning you've got other relatives who are coming
My
through
relatives
to
are
visit
very
you.
supportive.
Can you just pinpoint which ones? Your mother, your uncles, your...
Okay, my brothers and sisters, my cousins and my brothers and sisters, they are very supportive.
And parents?
My parents are late, both.
Okay. That's,
even though my mother's sisters are very supportive.
okay.
Yes, they come to see me in prison.
Did they accept the situation as it was, or they understood your side of the story?
They understood the side of my story.
Okay, all right.
Because it's only that I didn't say everything that transpired. You know, this lady even approached my relatives when the issue was now in the courts, saying I want to withdraw the case because I was not raped.
So she would say that outside court, but in court she would say a different thing.
She said this outside court, yes. To an extent that I was called one of the days, and I even accompanied her to Kingston's, and she bought the affidavits and wrote the affidavits and have them commissioned. It's only that I thought maybe she was going to withdraw the case. That's why I never maybe took one of the affidavits and produced it in the court. So
the issue of affidavits, this was just evidence that was not present.
it was not just presented in the court, because when she wrote the affidavits, I never thought of taking one. She even approached my relatives. I want to withdraw this case. I was not raped. She wrote the affidavits on her own without anyone forcing her. You see?
Okay.
Exactly.
So do you think this was influence coming from your family?
I don't think so. It was something coming from deep within herself.
No, I mean like accusing you of rape.
That's very true.
That's okay.
Yes, it's something chakakonzerwa nevanhu kumba kwavo. But iye akazozvirealize of late. I remember this other day, because I was on bail, when I was told to come for judgment, I saw her outside court crying, and she tried to talk to me. But because I knew there was nothing I could talk to her when things were at that stage, I just said, no, it's fine. This is what you thought is best. Let's not talk. Then I just went.
Did she ever, by any chance, come see you?
The sister came to prison.
Oh, okay.
Yes. You know, it was in 2014. Like I joined the choir in 2014. That's way back. So we were preparing for prison day, and we went to Chikurubi farm where we were rehearsing. Then I was called for a visit, and I saw the sister who testified in court at the wire, and she said, "No, Lawrence, we are sorry. We never thought things would go this far."
Ndinouya baba ikomberi kwenyu nyangwe ndakatadza asi ndinouya baba kuti mundikanganwirewo izvo zvivi zvangu ini handichada kufamba murima baba ndinouya baba we ikomberi kwenyuwo nyangwe ndakatadza asi ndinouya baba kuti mundikanganwirewo izvo zvivi zvangu ini handichada kufamba murima baba ndinouya baba ikomberi kwenyuwo nyangwe ndakatadza asi ndinouya baba kuti mundikanganwirewo izvo zvivi zvanguwo ini handichada kufamba